went wrong in the NASA collision to the point of they're getting here, where they're having closed meetings, their leader does not want to meet them, and during the campaigns last year, they were very strong and they were very together. So what went amiss? Because this has shocked so many people. In fact, there's a woman who kept on complaining about the march, saying, why did they have to do this now? Considering Kenya has lost a couple of lives, businesses have been affected, the economy as a whole has gone down. So what went wrong in the NASA collision?
Thank you, Nina. I claim the blessings of being a professor. Soon, in the coming days. What went wrong is this coalition was for Raila's benefit and for no one else's benefit. I need us to go back to the election period. What was Kalonzo bringing on the table? What was Mudavadi bringing on the table? And what was Wetangula bringing on the table? Essentially, you find that if you combine all their efforts and what Raila was bringing on the table, they were basically clinging on to him. We need to go back to 1999, thereabout, when Raila led NDP to walk into Kanu. Yeah, around 97, thereabout, where NDP walked into Kanu. And come 2002, just before 2002, he walked out and destroyed Kanu from within. My crystal ball always tells me something. And at this point, Raila has gone in, and these are three alphas. You're talking of Uhuru, you're talking of Ruto, and you're talking of Raila. There's going to be a clash at some point. And what we need to always remember, I always say that aristocrats know each other. And Raila and Uhuru are aristocrats. Ruto is a newcomer into this political world. And in this regard, especially as Alice has mentioned, when you go to a referendum, remember Ruto is the one who's touted to be president in 2022. Should the proposals not favor him, he'll be on the no side. And then the president and Raila will be on the yes side. Now,
orange and banana.
Yes, exactly. And that creates a whole different demarcation, which is why Kalonzo and Mudavadi and Wetangula might be safer off if they start touting Ruto and then wait to see what happens. Because it can't be silent for too long, especially when Raila is in. I hear he's going to be given an office and advisors and all that. And then, like was mentioned before I came in, the aspect of he pulled the rug under their feet. They were expecting, actually there was rumor that Kalonzo and Mudavadi were going to meet the president at some point. But Raila is a master stroke in this regard. And you can see the people he went with are ODM people, not NASA. If it was NASA, you'd have a Wiper person there or an ANC person there. But he went with an ODM person. And if you hear what ODM has been saying of late, even with Joho and the likes, is that ODM is ready to go on its own. And as it stands, ODM is the strongest party after Jubilee in this country. So NASA, Wiper, ANC or NASA is hinged on ODM, so whether we like it or not.
So does that mean we're done with NASA? There is no more NASA?
It's going to break eventually. Yeah. It was just a vehicle for 2017. Its job is done.
Doesn't that make former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, and this is just a question, no one should attack me, but doesn't that make former Prime Minister Raila Odinga selfish? Should we term him as a selfish man?
No.
Why?
Raila is not selfish. Raila is simply a calculative politician. Yeah, he's no different from what we see with William Ruto, taking very swift moves to save oneself from political oblivion. And that is exactly what Raila has done. Yeah, so remember, this whole drama actually escalated during the swearing in of Raila Odinga. And that is when the sharp rifts began emerging in NASA. You know, that whole issue of betrayal, you know, the other side saying that Raila betrayed us by, you know, not inviting us to the ceremony. And then Raila says they betrayed me by letting me go it alone. You know, that is where, you know, the rain started beating NASA. And so far we can see that their differences are irredeemable. I gather that today they are meeting to strategize on the way forward. And it is said that the meeting for today had been agreed on and concluded as per last week, and Raila had promised to appear in the meeting. But today, through his personal assistant, Dennis Onyango, he says that there is nothing like that. They're not in the know about the meeting, and so there are all signs that he's not going to meet them. In fact, he's traveling to Tanzania today to meet President Magufuli.
Yeah, anaendelea tu na kazi.
Anaendelea tu na kazi. And I wish to advise President Uhuru to seize this opportunity. I remember during the interview for CS Ambassador Monica Juma, whereby they were talking about, revisiting the issue of the Kenya diplomatic position with Tanzania. So I think it's a good chance for, the government to clinch on the goodwill of Raila Odinga to Magufuli to ensure that these long-standing differences between Kenya and Tanzania are settled once and for all. And it would be even to the greater benefit of the East African community.
And that's what our caller had to say. We have a president and we have one who's full of investors, so they had to merge.
Exactly.
They had to
actually
merge,
capitalize
otherwise
on Raila's good international image, even to settle with, these debtors who are on our neck. Perhaps even they can send Raila on a mission, maybe to talk to IMF, awambie wapunguze mzuka.
I mean, well, if Raila can do that, we'd be more than happy. You don't agree to what she was saying, but before that, before I give you a chance to speak, very good morning. Good morning, Paul.
Okay,
Paul, can you hear me? Oh, no. All right, we'll be getting back to Paul. Now, before Paul was about to tell us what he's thinking, when I asked our panelists if they think Raila is selfish, of course, Ali said no. Far from that, and I can see Alan is agreeing as well. Elliot, talk to us.
Well, I think Raila and any other leader who abandons sheep is likely to be selfish. If we can go back to 1997, can go back to 2002, all this time, the fact that Raila would actually live just for the sake of his own legacy, for the sake of his own future, would leave the major parties that he has been in, then it shows something. It shows that it's always about him. It's all about safeguarding the future for himself. And because he's tried all along to actually vie for the presidency and get to the house on the hill, and he has failed to do it. This is also another move to actually try and see whether he himself or someone that he has been mentoring to actually occupy that.